Feeling cute you might break something? Noise. Find yourself a model, got mine from Megascan, import it into Blender, go to Edit, Preferences, Add-ons, enable the Cells Fracture add-on. This is the way. Select the model, access the fracture settings from the Object menu, Quick Effects, Cell Fracture. If you right-click this menu, you can add it to the Quick Favorites menu for easy access, as we will use this a lot. Before we set up the fracturing, let's set up some materials. If you want the inside to have a different material, add a new material to your object. Make sure you have two material slots, one for the outside and one for the inside. Now fracturing the object. Go back to the fracture settings, change the point source to on vertices, increase the noise value to something like 0.5, change the source limit to 20. You want to have control over the fracturing, so let's start small, and any extra fractures we want to add in, we can add in later. To give the inside parts a separate material, change the material to 1. Keep things organized by moving the fractures into a new collection called F1. If you have large pieces and you want to fracture them further, select them and repeat the same steps. If your meshes are not fully manifold or they are not watertight or have holes in them, you might get issues like this. Now breaking things up, select everything, then go to Object, Rigid Body and set the rigid body to active. Then add a plane. This is going to be a rigid body type passive. Hit play if the pieces are exploding. This means that your original mesh is also a rigid body and it's intersecting with the pieces. So remove it or delete it from your scene. Things break without our control, so let's add some control to this. Select all the fractures, then go to Object, Rigid Body, Connect. To connect the pieces and change the location, make sure to change the location to selected and then hit play. Now the entire object is falling as one piece, so now let's break it back up again. To do this, select any of the constraints, go to the Physics tab and turn on Breakable and reduce the threshold to something like 0.1. If it's still not breaking, reduce it further until it starts to break off. Do this for any piece you want to break off, or select all the constraints by using Shift G to select by type and turn on the breakable option and the threshold to 0.1. This has only been set for one empty, so let's right click on the breakable and threshold options and copy it selected to transfer the settings to all the other constraints. Play with the threshold to get different results, making sure that you copy it selected to transfer the settings over to the other pieces. Now to lock the object before it breaks up in two pieces, add a new empty and add it to the bottom. Let's weld the object to the ground using this empty. Select your empty and in the Physics tab, add a rigid body constraint. In the object settings, select the ground plane for box 1 and any other piece near the ground for box 2. Then hit play. Increase the threshold of all the constraints so everything stays in place. Now reduce it slowly until pieces start breaking off, or simply select the top constraint and reduce those to break off just those parts. Now add particle systems, smoke simulations and everything else, and there you have it. Subscribe, like, comment, see you in the next video.